Matthew, and then next week, Luke, and then the week after, Matthew, and then the following week, Luke. Read through it in the narrative. Don't go into it with overly analytical eyes. I just want you to go through, I want you to read through it. Then I want you to go back through it, and I want you to read through it with the analyzing features, with the analyzing part of your brain. And just ask yourself some questions. What would that be look like? I want you to explore the gift like these shepherds did with excitement. They ran. Let's go see this gift that the angels are talking about. Let's go check it out. Come on. Let's go explore this for all it's worth. I want you to explore the gift. And then the third thing that I want us to look at today in regards to vintage Christmas is brag about it. Brag about it. Now, isn't bragging wrong? Well, yeah, if you're glorifying yourself. But don't we do it all the time? Seriously. I've been a pastor for 15 years. I've officiated dozens and dozens and, countless weddings. And here's what I can tell you. I have never met a bride ever, or a woman who was engaged to be married. I have never met a woman who, after she got engaged, kept her left hand in her pocket and walked around like this. Never. In fact, something unique changes about them. They begin to adjust their hair with their left hand. They begin to shake with their left hand. Hi. They begin to eat with their left hand. Everything changes because they want to brag to everybody. Maybe not about the man, but about the ring. Check this thing out. He went to Jared's. You know what I'm talking about if you're a woman and you've ever been engaged. And it doesn't matter the size of the ring. It really doesn't matter. It helps, but it doesn't matter. It's the pride associated with it. It's the joy that comes with it. You're engaged to be married. Little do you know what that means for the rest of your life. But man, are you excited, and you're telling everybody about it. How about when you get a new car? Never seen anybody roll up in a brand new car. In high school, this happened. I had a guy that I played baseball and football with. He actually got drafted by the Montreal Expos as a senior in high school. The next day, with his signing bonus, he rolled up in a 1997 Ford. It was sick. It was an amazing car. He walked around the halls, not with his keychain in his pocket, but with the Ford symbol on the outside. So you could see the status, the symbol. He was excited, and he wanted everybody to know. Not just about the car, but hey, I just got signed by the Expos. When we get good gifts, when we get really cool things, my guitar, when we have a baby, I don't know why I just compared those two because there's nothing similar. Before my wife was done delivering, I had my phone out. She was on one end of the room. I was on the other end of the room at that point, and I took a picture of it and I said, hey, Stacy, can I go ahead and post this on Facebook? Madison was like 2 minutes old. She said, yeah, go ahead. And they're over there doing whatever they do. It was better I was where I was at. I've got a weak stomach. And so I took a picture of Madison, and I'm giving all the details. 7 pounds, 8 ounces, 19 inches long, 10 fingers, 10 toes, no hose. I'm going through the whole thing like some of you will get that later. I'm going through this whole thing, and I posted to Facebook. I wanted everybody to know. 10 minutes later, like 150 people liked the picture and liked the status update and everything else. I was so excited about Madison's birth. I wanted everybody to know. I was bragging about it. And who wouldn't? Have you seen her? She looks just like me. I'm joking. She does look like me, but I'm really not that arrogant. My point is, I was so excited about Madison's birth. And more than anything, this is the honest to God's truth, because it's Sunday and we don't lie on Sundays. We're preachers. Stacy and I were excited because we were told for months that she had some soft markers that led the doctors to believe she either had trisomy 18, which would have been deadly. She would have died either at birth or within the first couple of years of life, or that she would have been Down syndrome. And we were preparing in our heads and our hearts for Down syndrome. In fact, as Stacy began to push, as the doctor said, hey, it's time to push. You're going to have to start pushing. Stacy looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, I can't do it. I can't do it. Because, 6 years ago, we lost a son, stillborn. And it was one of those things where we were just, I've never cried so hard in a delivery in all my life. When Madison came out, and the doctor turned her over, and she looked at my wife and I both, and she said, she's perfect. we both lost it. Lost it. We were sobbing. So I wanted to tell the world, this is the gift that God has given us. She's healthy, she's whole. And we would have loved this child regardless, I promise you. But we were bragging to the world, look at how amazing this child is. Look at this experience. And then I took a picture of my wife who didn't look like she'd even given birth. Look at how beautiful she is. She's hot. Like I was bragging. Who doesn't? Let's look what the shepherds do. Verse 16. They hurried to the village and found Mary and Joseph, and there was the baby lying in the manger. And after seeing him, the shepherds told everyone what had happened and what the angel had said to them about this child. All who heard the shepherd's story were astonished. And what would they tell people? Not just that this baby was born, but here's what they were telling people. Listen to what the angel had told them back in verse 10. Don't be afraid. I bring you good news that will bring great joy to all people. The shepherds are so excited. They've been waiting with great anticipation. They've gone and they've explored this gift themselves. And now, with reckless abandon, they go and they begin to brag to everybody through the towns and the villages about what the angels had said and about what they had experienced, about this gift that was for them, about this gift that was for the people of their town, about this gift that had been prophesied and promised for hundreds of years before, about this gift that would change the trajectory of their lives. They bragged to everybody. They wanted everybody to know. And the people in the towns and villages, they were astonished by what took place because it mattered, because it changed everything for them. It was a game changer. And the Bible says that that gift was for all. Jesus came for all of us as a gift. You can't earn it. You can't buy it. You can't barter for it. You can't steal it. You can't force it. It's a gift. A gift from God for all people. A gift designed, a Christmas gift that will change the trajectory of your eternity. Why wouldn't we brag about that to everybody? On Christmas morning, when you wake up and you take those pictures and you're about to post them to Facebook, why not post to Facebook? I was given the gift of life by God through his son, Jesus Christ, and I'll have it for all eternity, and I want everybody to know. That's the gift that keeps on giving. That's vintage. That's quality. That's what God did for you. If you're anything like me, it's hard to understand a gift like that. Because you don't feel like you're worthy of the gift. Let's be honest. When I got that guitar from Stacy, regardless of how it really happened, I didn't feel like I deserved it. And I had a hard time accepting the gift. I remember that feeling distinctly. Maybe we don't feel like we deserve the gift from God. God, you know I'm a wicked, wretched sinner. You know the stuff I've done. God, you know the stuff I've done this week. God, you know the stuff I did today before I got here. Maybe it's the fact that we don't feel like we deserve the gift. Or maybe it's maybe you're one of those individuals who gets a gift and it's so good you don't want to use it. That happens. I was with my son yesterday at a wrestling tournament. And he saw a pair of shoes that he's never seen on me before, and he said, "Dad, are those new shoes?" And I said, "I've had them for about 8 years." He said, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, this was back when your mom and I first got married. We couldn't afford stuff like this, and I got a really great deal on a pair of Nike Shox from North Carolina 8 years ago, and I still wear them today. I've got a pair of other shoes that I don't ever wear because I don't want them to get ruined. I've got an outfit my mom bought me. I've never worn it one time because I don't want it to get dirty." Ridiculous, I know. Maybe you don't want to use it because you're afraid that you'll ruin it. And so you leave it on a shelf, in a book, and you leave it to collect dust. Maybe you don't know how to receive the gift. Maybe you're like me on Christmas Eve when you're sitting there and you're trying to put all these presents together and you're doing it without instructions. You're just trying to do it because, well, you want to do it on your own. That's what men do, right? We do it on our own. We figure it out. We don't need directions. We don't need instructions. And we don't need no stinking badge. So some of us, we don't experience Christmas the way we were designed to experience Christmas as a gift of God. Because we're afraid to ask for help. We're afraid to ask for directions. We're afraid to read the owner's manual. And maybe we just don't know how. I asked the question last week, where were you when you first experienced Christmas? What was your first recollection of Christmas? And I wasn't talking about the first time you remember opening a present. I'm talking about when you came to know the fact that Jesus Christ was born for you. Here's what I want to tell you today. The angels prophesied and said, this is a gift for all. Jesus himself said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son, me, flesh and blood, that whoever believes in me will not perish but have everlasting life. For God did not send me into this world to condemn the world, but to save the world. And then we get instructions on how we experience this gift. And none of us is worthy. Paul tells us in Romans that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And really, the repercussions is death, separation from God. But the birth of Christ and what he did on the cross paved the way for us. It bridged that gap. I want to encourage you this year to experience a vintage Christmas for all it's worth. I want to encourage you to wait with great anticipation, expecting God to do incredible things. I want to encourage you to explore the gift that God has given you through his son, Jesus Christ. And then I want to encourage you to brag about it to everybody. This week, go out and tell a friend. Tell a friend about your church. Tell a friend about what God's doing here. Bring them with you next week to come and experience what God's going to do. You're not going to want to miss it. Invite them to the Comedy Collision. Tickets are going to be available next week. It's free. That doesn't mean we don't want you to, and we want you to take it very serious because it's not free to the church. It's going to cost the church quite a bit of money. But we want to lead the way in generosity. We don't want to hinder anybody from coming to experience Christ through any event. And so we want you to be intentional about giving those tickets out. But we want you to brag about what God's done in your life to everybody. And in order to do that, you need to be experiencing God. You need to read the owner's manual. You need to get it. You need to be in it. Experience it for yourself. If you want to learn how to experience Jesus Christ today, if you want to know more about this gift that I'm talking about and you don't know that Jesus Christ is for you, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like you wouldn't even know where to begin, I want you to come and talk to me after service. I want you to be bold enough and brave enough to come and talk to me after service. And I want to just pray with you, and I want to encourage you, and I want to help you however I can. I want to be a coach for you. I'll be out the Welcome Center hanging out with Michael Bergstrom and others. If you're new, I'd love an opportunity to meet you. I'd love to shake your hand and hear just a little bit about your story. I'd love to hear how God's working in your life and how you heard about Illumination Church. For others, I want to encourage you to take time to process and pray. Ask God to speak to you right now. Lord, what is it you want me to hear this morning? What is it you want me to get from this? How can I change my life for you? And then go and tell somebody what God's done in your life. So, Father, I commit this morning to you. I commit this word that has gone out to you. And I ask you to change lives for all eternity because of it. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Lord.